Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is the day 2 in our troubleshooting series, right? So in today's video we are going to break down how to troubleshoot high CPU usage on a Linux system, right? Might be you're getting a tickets on daily basis, right? Whenever there is some kind of job is running on the boxes or maybe some other unnecessary process are running, so that lead to your high CPU usage, right? And if you are using some kind of monitoring or something, that will lead to you alert and you will get a ticket, right? So in today's video, we are going to break down how to troubleshoot high CPU usage, whether you are a beginner or experienced system admin, right? We will walk you through the exact steps to figure out what is exactly eating your CPU, right? How to fix it, and that's it, right? Let's jump in. So first of all, we need to know that how many process or how many CPUs or cores we have, right? So for that, you can run there is a command called nproc, right? Or maybe you can use CPU info and you can grep for processor, right? So you can see that we have the two core CPU here in this machine, right? So we will see that as of now, like maybe nothing is running, but we will just generate some kind of false load and then we'll see that how we can troubleshoot, right? So first of all, just to start with, you need to check your uptime, right? So uptime, what exactly it will show you, right? Because we are checking the CPU troubleshooting, right? But what is the meaning of uptime, right? So uptime basically shows you a load average, right? So here you can see that our system is not loaded at all, right? So here you can see if you are using, let's say, if your CPU core count is 2, right? And if your load is consistently more than 2, right? Then obviously you need to think here, right? Because you are running into a CPU saturation. Here you can see it is a 1 minute, it is for last 5 minutes, and it is for last 15 minutes, right? So you need to think, right? Like if you using two core, then if everything is good, right? Then this load basically should be less than two, right? Apart from that, you can run a top command. So top command basically will show you a live thing, like what exactly is running in your system, how many CPUs are used, how many memories are used, all these things will come, right? So if you want to see what exactly we can do, so you can just press H for help, and you can see that we have different key combination, and each combination or each key will give you a different output. Let's say if you just to see the load average, right, you can just press L. If you want to set CPU stats, right, what exactly the task is going on, then you can just press the T. For the memory, you can press M, right? For different CPU per course, right, you can just press say I, right? So this you can read out and you can just do your analysis. Let me press T, right? So here you can see that it is just showing me the CPU percentage, right? You can see that whatever the, and it is changing live, right? There is no hijack here, right? It is just a live monitoring happening with the top binary. So here you can see this is there is a nothing using, right? But we'll see once we have that false load running, right? Then what we can exactly do with our system, right? Apart from that, right, if we have something called htop, I am not sure it is installed or not. It is not, right? Let's quickly install and we'll see if we can get more info using htop. Is nothing. Htop is just a human friendly kind of visual version of top, right? It will just show you the real time CPU usage per process, right, and everything. So let it installed, and meanwhile, I will just give you apart from that htop, right? Let's say if htop is basically generally it is not you will not find in your production boxes, right? So in that scenario, what you can use, right? So in that scenario, let's say if we have htop, right? So htop, you can see that it is just a like colorful thing of output and little friendly, right? Because here you can see that per core it is saying that on the first core this much of load, and the second core this is the memory, this is the swap usage, this is the uptime, these are the load averages, right? Everything you can see that with the as I mentioned, it is the same kind of output we have with the top command, right? So htop is just a user friendly, nothing. Apart from that, we have something called mpstat, right? So mpstat will give you a more information here. You can see that it is giving you like uh, uh, right away that 1 second interval it is giving you, right? So we need to think about that, okay, what is this and everything, right? So here you can see, let me cancel it. Here you can see that these are the CPU it is giving for the all CPU. These are the user percentage, means how many user processes are used, how much CPU are used by the user processes. These are the nice percentage. Again, the same, that user process with a positive nice value, and maybe the lower priority, it will just show you the CPU usage. These are the system interruption, right? Like system kernel, maybe kernel usage. These are the IO waits, time of CPU spends waiting for the disk or maybe the network, right? IRQ is, I think, the hardware interruption, and this is the software interruption, right? Steal percentage is something that if you are running a VM, right? So basically, if you have oversubscription or something from the hypervisor end, like if your hypervisor is stealing a CPU from your machine. These are the guest and the G-nice, right? Again, it is for the time spent running for a virtual CPU for guest, right? Like for actual CPU usage for this. And these are the idle percentage. You can see our CPU is sitting idle or not. So you have this output, right? Let's say if you have that more system percentage, right? Like it is hitting around 50% or something, right? Then you need to think, because it is something that the kernel is using the high CPU, right? So you need to think about that for this, right? Maybe you can just create a report to your vendor, Red Hat in that case, right? And you can think, or you can check the kernel crash, analyzing what is happening with this, right? If it is a user percentage high, right, then you need to think about that, okay, whatever the application you are running, right? So probably that particular application is using the more CPU here, right? So this thing you need to think here, okay, right? And apart from that mpstat, right, there is a, if you have that mpstat, let's say if you just want to iteration, right? Because mpstat 1 is what it is doing, it is just giving you the live output in the each second. You can see 13, 14, 15, right? But this will give you in each second, but it will just stop automatically after the 5 iteration, right? That will give you that, okay, this is the thing you are doing with that particular thing, right? And there is something called iostat. Iostat, you can see, okay, it is not giving me. Maybe let's see if we can do it. Yeah. So iostat is again that it's here also you need to consider if you are experiencing a high CPU, right? Like how you can troubleshoot these steps. So these are the disk, basically disk operation. We will discuss this in next video, like if you are getting the high IO or maybe the disk operation, then how you can do it, right? So this is the mpstat command, right? Apart from that, like if you see that, okay, there is a high CPU usage, right? Let's say high, then probably what you can do, you can just filter out the which what you say, that process, right, is giving you a most CPU percentage, right? We can just sort it with the it is test as short equal to percentage CPU, right? Maybe let's say head. I just want to see only the first 10 things. So here you can see that, right? This is the PID, this is the parent process ID, right? And this is the command, and these are the CPU percentage, right? If you want to include the memory as well, so probably you can just say percentage mem, right? These are some basics command, guys, right? You just need to think about that, okay, how we can get it, because you just need to be you should be ready with handy all these command, right? You can just create one document in your environment, and whenever you see there is a ticket for the CPU, then quickly you can check. And if it is related to kernel, then you need to think for the reboot or maybe that and if it is a more from the application's perspective, right, then in that case you need to think about the application perspective. If that is not sufficient, then you can think maybe we can go for the increase of the CPU, right? But sometimes, let's say, if you are saying using a particular thing, let's say usage percentage for the system high, right? Not for the application. Maybe sometimes what will happen is there is a zombie process, right? Zombie process is nothing. These are the dead process, right? Like some process is waiting for some other operations, and in meanwhile, if you have explicitly, right, you have intentionally killed that process, or maybe some due to hardware interruption or maybe network interruption, that process is just killed, right? So that the sub process started by that particular process, that is something a zombie process, right? So that will not get cleared, right? So you need to think how you can uh, find out that particular. So you need to clean those process, right? Apart from that, I think you can just get the strace as well, right? Strace is also a good command which will give you, right, if some process is stuck somewhere, right? So you can just, these are the system calls, guy, right? These something advanced troubleshooting, right? So you need to see if that particular output is not coming, right? If it is not exited with zero, obviously it will gonna stuck somewhere, right? Then you will have idea, okay, this process is waiting for some kind of operations. So we need to think of that particular thing, right? Yeah, you need to check the D messages, or maybe you can get for var log messages for something. Maybe your process is killed due to the less CPU, or maybe the CPU error or something, right? You can just find out, let's say, error, or maybe some warning, right? So this is something that you can find out, and you can get an idea, okay, what we can do here, right? And yeah, that's it. I think you need to find out. So let's do a quick demo, right? Where we will just do some, yeah, apart from that, there is one more thing. With the performance copilot, right? You have that another detailed kind of output, right? Where you can see that, okay, what is happening with the per CPU, memory, swap, disk, network, and everything, right? So it is a PCP top command, right? For this, obviously PMCD service should be running, right? And this will give you, right? And if you want to see for help, so here you can see that we have the more keys, or maybe that flags available than top, right? So here you can see for the disk detail, you can for the CPU activity, you can see C. For the memory consumption, you can press capital M, right? So let's try this capital C, right? uh, okay, so here you can see that these are the CPU. This is something coming from that CPU percentage usage, but as of now nothing, right? So let's cancel it, and I will have this something called this, right? So now let's run this again, and let's wait to be percentage. You can see that it is started that, because I'm using an open SSL just to eat the more CPU, right? Maybe I'll just say C, right? So here you can see that now it is giving me the red color. That means there is something wrong with this CPU, right? So you can see that we have the high CPU usage, right? It is almost 100%, right? So that way that you can see that now I am getting very high CPU usage, right? And the disk usage as well. I think that that same script we have the false load on the disk as well, right? So here you can see that, okay, we have this CPU usage. You can find out that, okay, which process is using this process, right? Again, that you can find out, okay, which is something, what is the command, right? Maybe it is related to some internal script where you are loading or unloading the data, or maybe it is related to some applications, right? Then you can check with the application guys, or you can check the logs and everything, right? Apart from that, we have seen this mpstat, right? So 1 8, right? So here let's see. So again, you can see that it is a user interrupted, right? It is not a system. You can see, right? So here you can see that the live, if I just remove it, so it will give you a live, right? So mpstat is also a good command you can think of, right? This is, you can see that live, it is using very high, and ideal you can see that it is 0%, and earlier it was running 100%, right? Apart from that, now you will say that, okay, this is something, a live troubleshooting we are doing, right? If we get the alert, then we can just quickly jump to the box, and we can think of, okay, what is happening to the box, and we can quickly find out that our uh, process, right? Which process is running more and everything. But what if you get a ticket, right? And that ticket will give you something called, let's say if user is saying in every night I have some job is running where I'm just transferring some database file to somewhere, right? And that time I feel that my CPU is high, right? My system is not working correctly, right? So for the past, right, for the archive, what you can do is we have the way with the performance copilot that I will talk about in the next video, but from the native thing, right, we have something called SAR utility, right? If you just say SAR hyphen A, it is having a very long output, right? So SAR hyphen A will give you everything, right? SAR is just a system act archive report, right? Like what is happening at the, you can see if I just say SAR hyphen Q, so you can see as of now the timing is almost 2:37, right? And you can see that I am getting that previous past report as well, like at that time what was happening with that CPU, right? So here you can see run queue is something, it is a run queue size, right? Like at that particular time how many process were running, right? This is a process size list, like total how many process was that particular at time that when we run this, right? Next is the load average. You can see load average 1 minute, 5 minutes, and this 15 minutes, right? So this is something that you need to check whenever you see, okay, this is and the blocked is like at that time maybe some process was blocked, right? So this is again run queue size, this is a process list size, the total number of process, and the number of process at that time running, like maybe waiting for the CPU time or something, right? And these are the load average, right? And it will get automatically logged in every 10 seconds, right? There is a defined uh, cron job for that. Let me see if we can cron.d daily, and we have nothing here. This is for the log rotate. Okay, cron.d, and if you see, so here we have hourly. Okay, maybe it is somewhere else, but yeah, we have the timer unit already set for because this comes as a part of sysstat utility, right? And that will give you a this stuff like how you can just set your this automatically by default it will come, but you can change that behavior using the cron job, right? And yeah, I think that's it probably. Still, if you see with the, let's say, htop also, if you see that we are getting the almost high CPU, right? All both cores are loaded, right? The same thing. And if you see for the top, so for top also you can see it is 100%. So everything, it's just your choice, like which utility you will feel comfortable, that utility you can use, right? You can use top, you can use htop, you can use pcp atop, right? You can use sar, you can use what else, mstat, right? mpstat, right? And maybe something if you are using some third party monitoring tool, so there also you can check the your usage of your particular CPU, right? So that's it, guys. So I feel that is something that the basic check we can perform with this thing, right? So troubleshooting high CPU doesn't have to be scary, right? You just need to check the loads, look at the process, dig into the details with all these tools like htop, top, and all these, right? Check the logs, right? If this helped, right? Then please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below your question if you have anything, right? So I will meet you in the next, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.